To hear more about resveratrol, which is something that I've completely written off until I started researching you. It seemed for a red hot minute like it was real, and then it seemed to completely die. And I know that you got sort of caught in the middle of some of this stuff. So where has all the, forget like what pop culture thinks of it, like what's the reality of it?
Yeah, so resveratrol was a proof of concept molecule back in 2003. The first of its kind that could mimic caloric restriction, make mice healthy on a high-fat Western diet. And it was a great proof of something that we were trying to figure out. And it led to drugs that went into humans that looked really promising. I got embroiled in a scientific and a corporate war. So in the case of Pfizer, they put out a scientific paper that said essentially everything that David has said is wrong. Okay, and then that was a great headline. Harvard scientists started companies is wrong. Okay, and then I spent about a week in bed saying, fuck the world. Why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard for society if they don't care? But I worked my way out of bed. I thought, let's dig deep and see if they're right or if we're right. And so for another 3 years, we really worked hard in my lab at Harvard to test whether we were right. So the question was, with this Pac-Man that spools the DNA, does resveratrol work on it? Or is it working on something else? And that, to scientists, is really important. Because if it's not working on this, all the drugs that we're trying to work on this are probably working the wrong way that we thought. To cut a long story short, what we found and published in the journal Science, which is one of the top you can do, and I say that because it's validated science, is that we showed that resveratrol does bind to the Pac-Man, and it is responsible for this. And we now have new information that we haven't published, but I'll tell your audience about it. We've made a mouse that is resistant to activation of the Pac-Man. We can tweak the enzyme just in one amino acid in that protein out of about 1,000 that blocks this movement activation. It's normally chewing like this, but if we add resveratrol to a normal mouse, it'll do that. To our mutant mouse, it's this.
And which is better?
What
the rapid munching?
Rapid munching's better.
Okay.
Because the rapid we think was responsible for the health benefits and the longevity.
So what you're showing is by slowing it down, you cause real problems, and thusly, if you have resveratrol in there and get it munching really fast, that you've done something positive.
Right. And our mutant mouse should be resistant to the benefits of resveratrol if we're right. But if Pfizer is right, then resveratrol should still provide benefits even though this enzyme
because it's working on some
other way.
Got it.
So the mouse that could not be sped up, the mutant mouse, does not live longer when given resveratrol on its high-fat diet.
Interesting.
So that will be the punctuation mark, the FU. We were right. But interestingly, the world has moved on, right? Well, I'm left to clean up the pieces.
Right. Yeah, so, and when you say the world has moved on, you're talking about people like me who just assumed that it was garbage and that